Ta-da-ta-da!
Good evening, everybody. What's up? What's up, Ms. Roy, Satellite, PM Collector Boy, Deep Thought, 2-Hit. Thank you so much for subscribing for 4 years. My God, that's a long time. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing lovely. I am here, pleasantly ensconced within my favorite magazine. It's a good evening. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing quite well. I am full of tacos and good drink, and I'm ready to kick back with an evening of Nintendo oddities. Yes, isn't it a treat, chat? Isn't it a wonder to have a table of contents you can actually read without your eyeballs wanting to like roll back into your skull? Thank you, Justin Brett. You know, I decided to finally take a cue from chat. All my complaining and belly aching about modern games, they don't have anywhere for my face cam. They don't have anywhere for me to be. And tonight, I just happened to be presented with an opportunity where the center of the page had nothing of any import. So I decided to put the most important part here. Table of contents is legible, the word contents not so much. Yeah, they were still kind of figuring out fonts and color blending at this point. Like, we know that page 52 is Chrono Trigger right over here. But since it just happens to overlap with that white rope, yeah, you can't exactly read it. You can't read the entire description of the Killer Instinct feature or the Doom feature because it's overlapping with whites in the background, so. Oh, this is a PC Engine classic called City Hunter coming to Steam Translate, even whether it's a good translation is another matter. Interesting. City Hunter, would that be based on the old anime? Because I am extremely familiar with City Hunter. Intimately familiar, you might say. I've actually watched all of City Hunter. All of it. Everything. All the shows, all the seasons, all the films. Killer Instinct art looks like Majora's Mask. This is absolutely a masterpiece of design from this era. Like, if I remember correctly, it wasn't last month. We were like two or 3 months out from the one that was just eye-searing red. Even the live action, I haven't watched the entirety of the live action. I've seen plenty of clips of it, believe me. Rio's VA had his birthday recently. Oh, cool. Nice. It is crazy. I mean, I guess we certainly have voice actors that hang on like forever and ever and ever, but man, like Japanese voice actors, like they retire when they die. It's pretty crazy. Well, I'm still hungry for more Kingsfield. The game's weirdly compelling, but of course Nintendo powers a cozy cup of cocoa too. Yeah, we definitely need a few days respite from Kingsfield. It is fun. It is fascinating. But I can only take so much wandering around and trying to put together extremely vague clues at a time. So it's a good balance, I think. Basically retired. I think the last thing he played was Rio's lines in Jump Force. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I know the voice actor who played Frankie in One Piece basically had to retire. He was pretty much burned out. He probably hung on a bit longer than he should have, but yeah, at least he did. Whereas a lot of others don't. Chrono Trigger looks more like Choose Zipper. Thanks, graphic design. If I say it cryptically enough, could I recite a hint from GameFAQ? I don't want any hints. Especially not when we're not playing the game tonight. Yeah, definitely doing better than yeah. But yeah. So I spent my time today as I went. Well, I did a lot of stuff today. I had a bunch of chores and things to take care of today. But I put some more time into Grim Dawn. I discovered something really funny. I kind of knew this, but I haven't really gone like hard into the paint on a character lately. So I had forgotten this was the way it worked. But like, okay, so ARPGs have tiers of gear. That's pretty obvious, right? Grim Dawn has like normal white gear that you will never see or care about past the opening minutes of the game. It has magic yellow gear that you won't care about after the first hour or two. There's rare green gear, which is basically the standard. It's got enough modifiers and stuff to form your basic arsenal. And then there's epic blue items that are like, the values are randomized, but the modifiers on them are not. And then above that, once you get past level 50, there's legendary purple gear, which is like super epic. It just has a lot more modifiers, basically designed to be the endpoints of certain builds. But there's actually a middle gear tier between green and blue called Monster Infrequence. And it's gear that drops from specific monster types, or sometimes specific like bosses have their own like little unique loot table of items that only drop off of them. And those, it seems like every build in the game has, no, they're still green, but they have a special icon next to them to denote that they're this like special mid-class of gear. And it seems like they're Monster Infrequence for like every kind of build. What I didn't realize is that they're kind of like, they might be, or they are often like your best gearing option. And I realized that I realized it like a day or two ago, because I'm playing a Cold Nightblade. I'm playing a dual wielding Nightblade where the vast majority of my damage is converted to cold damage, and so all my multipliers are on cold damage, and all my resistance reductions are on cold damage. Everything's on cold damage. I'm all in on cold damage. And when I was going through normal difficulty, I found these swords off of these ghosts in Act 2 that were really, really good. They did extra cold damage, they modified cold damage, they converted physical damage into cold damage, they converted piercing damage into cold damage. They added even more cold damage on top of that. They added a bunch of damage to my specific Nightblade skills and converted that to cold damage. They were so good, I did not switch them out for the rest of normal difficulty. I just couldn't find anything better than that. And now I'm in the middle difficulty. I'm in elite difficulty. And I finally made it back to that cave where those ghosts are. And I got 2 more swords. And they basically doubled my damage that I was doing. So my weapons come from one very specific kind of enemy in one very specific dungeon. Everything else is variable. I'm finding all kinds of different armor upgrades and accessory upgrades and stuff. But the weapons, I think for the vast majority of your playthrough in Grim Dawn, if you find the monster infrequent for your build, that's basically what you're going with. And I've seen stuff that looks like that for other classes. There are a lot of monsters that drop like fire-themed weapons, and I've seen a couple that are just like paragraphs for demolitionists. So anyway, I'm sharing that because it was very exciting. Because it was starting... My playthrough was starting to get a little difficult in Act 1 of Elite. And I was starting to worry that my build was going to have some holes in it. And then I found those swords. And it's like, nope, nothing matters. What do you mean enemies who are immune to cold? So one of the neat things about Grim Dawn is you don't actually go entirely all in on one damage type. I still do a small amount of physical damage. Not all of my damage was not converted. I do a significant amount of lightning damage because that just happens to be on a bunch of the equipment I have. I even do a tiny bit of fire damage, and for a while I was doing a lot of chaos damage because of a specific, I think it was gloves I had that converted a chunk of my damage over to chaos too. So you actually do like a whole bunch of mixed damage types. I think it would actually be hard to narrow it down to just one. But I've definitely run into some enemies that were either extremely resistant or immune to cold damage, and it took quite a bit longer to kill them. The other thing though about Grim Dawn is you have ways to reduce enemy resistances. So no enemy can be completely immune to your damage type because you could strip their you could strip their resistances. Oh my god, it's Endief! Jesus Christ! I don't know what my friend keeps telling me his teacher won't fart in public. He keeps saying he has a private tutor. That's terrible. That's so terrible. Good evening, Shadows. Good evening, Manic. Good evening, everybody else who came in while I was mindlessly rambling about Grim Dawn, as I tend to do. Don't see contents at all. Top right, weirdly square. Yep, it's up there. It just looks terrible is all. Yeah, we were talking about how good, relatively good, this page layout is compared to previous tables of contents in past months. It's surprisingly legible, aside from where white elements in the background blur out the text in the foreground. MiHoYo making creature capture game wasn't enough cheese off Nintendo. Now they got an Animal Crossing like called Petite Planet. Between MiHoYo and Pocket Pair, I think Nintendo's blood pressure is gonna stay spiked for years. Well, they brought it upon themselves, frankly. Try not to mindlessly ramble out of Crossroads. Proud of that Famicom livery. It was cute looking. I did like that. Used to metal band logos didn't register. Yeah, no, it totally looks like something off of like, yeah, some kind of metal or grunge album, I think. It's extremely 90s, extremely apropos for the 90s. So yeah. Yeah, chat, we should get into it. We should get into it. All of my news is just rambling about Grim Dawn. That's all I got these days. I do chores, I wait for things to happen, and I play Grim Dawn while I'm waiting. Good evening, Trent. I haven't killed Audish's instinct yet. I never had any. Jokes on you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Wants to look graffiti is so squashed up in a place where it makes. Yeah, it is weird. Like, why not put it right here? Like, right here next to the actual table of contents on the right-hand page in like a prominent place. I don't know. I guess they were really proud of this Killer Instinct background. If I remember correctly, the background for this page is the Boxer Guys stage from Killer Instinct. I think. Pretty sure. Or at least a render taken from it. So I guess they liked it so much, they just wanted people to see as much of it as possible. They wanted to show off that they finally understood, like, color grading. This is a cool render. It does look really good, yeah. Especially for the mid-90s, yeah, this is pretty impressive, so. Yeah, we should get to it, chat. We should get to it. I feel like we can make a lot of progress in this magazine if we try. If we really just crack down and get to it. There's a whole bunch of stuff here in the pages of Nintendo Power that we can play and experience and talk about. So why don't we go ahead and get to it? I'll remind you of the schedule, and then we'll get going. Tonight, of course, is Power Hours. Power Hours will also be on Saturday. We'll be continuing the magazine then. Tomorrow night is the September Community Night. 2-hit, if you want to give any final reminders or anything for that. We're doing Sage Expo games. Folks have requested a bunch of them in Discord. I believe this is your last opportunity to request something if you would like to. You gotta do it in Discord, though. It's all organized there. Yep, there it is. There it is, chat. But we got stuff to look at tomorrow. It should be a good time. Or if we just call it off after the envelope art and jump to the next issue. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm on a mission. I've made a commitment to experience every page of Nintendo Power with y'all. So yeah, that's the rest of this week. Sunday is nothing, because I'm on stream on Sunday. Monday, we're back to Kingsfield. We're doing more King's Fielding. I feel good about where we are. We've accomplished a lot. We have a bunch of items that I don't know what the hell they do, but I imagine I'll figure it out eventually. There's only so many items you can rub on so many things in that game before you start making progress. Kingsfield is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until we finish it. Power Hours are Thursday, Saturday, as they are wont to be. I should open up volunteers for the October Community Night this weekend. I should do that since September's Community Night will be done and dusted. So we can go ahead and grab somebody for that, and y'all can start figuring out what you want to do for October. If you would like to do a spoopy-themed variety night, or spurn the spoops, do something cute and cozy, or just something totally out there. It's community night. It's your night. You can do whatever you want, or rather, you can make me do whatever you want. But tonight, we do what I want, and what I want is to be here, in the loving embrace of mid to late 1995. Split the difference to cute horror. I don't know about that. I love cute horror. I don't know if you want to do something I actually deeply enjoy for a community night. Welcome, chat. Welcome to Volume 76, September 1995. They still have this eye-searing ad. We won't worry about that. Let's enjoy the cover for a second. They were really big on full gore. They had full faith in full gore. If I remember correctly, I think they wanted what's the ninja guy's name? What is generic ninja guy's name in Killer Instinct? I can't remember. Games to try and fail to be scary, that'd be fine. Jago, thank you, Jago. I feel like when they first announced Killer Instinct, they thought that Jago was going to be their face man. They thought that Jago was going to be the kind of like with Street Fighter 2, how they were kind of pushing Guile for the Western audience at first. And then I guess once it hit arcades, people were like, nah, it's full gore. it's the cyborg predator. Because, I mean, fucking look at him. A little less gore. Can't wait to see when the Ocarina doodad comes to being. I swear for the entire time I was subscribed to now, some dude in absolutely insane scene fit holding ocarinas up the camera every single issue. Pokemon was brought to America. Game Freak was certainly the face of the property would be Jigglypuff. How in the hell did they come to that conclusion, I wonder? I mean, my money would have been on the fire dragon. Like, that one seemed like a slam dunk to me. To be fair to them, I would not have guessed the electric rat. That was not my guess for breakout hit character. Charizard was kind of the face of the series. Yeah, no. No. There is literally one Pokemon that everyone on planet Earth knows, and it's Pikachu. There is no discussion. There is no argument to be had on this point. You know, Jibanyan, the Yokai Watch mascot, is a freebie in the first game with no plot relevance. That's funny. Charizard was the one shoved in the box and cartridge art with it. Well, I mean, the original release was what? Red and blue? So they picked a red Pokemon, which is the Fire Dragon, and they picked a blue Pokemon, which was like the Artillery Turtle, whatever the hell that thing's called. And then once it became clear that no, we don't give a shit, we only love Pikachu, then they made the yellow version, right? Thank you, chat. I know basically nothing about Pokemon besides Pikachu and this adorable little shit, who, as far as I know, is like a C or D lister in the old Pokemons, but I don't care because we share a name. And then Japan had red and green, so it's Charizard and Bulbasaur's most evolved form. Huh, okay. Yellow version is based off the anime, which I think is why Pikachu is popular. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the success was from. Like, the end result is that, like, Pikachu is the one true Pokemon for the franchise. Oh, this is top tier in my heart. Never actually played a Pokemon game. We have that in common to it. In Japan, Blue was like an updated release, and it was used as the base of our version. That's really interesting. I only got a Pokemon Go during that one summer. You know, I did too, and I retained like 0 memories from that experience. Absolutely none. That was when I was jogging. Oh, no, I played Pokemon Go when it first came out, which was before the end times. Because I was jogging at the time. It was before my second daughter was born. Because that worked out perfectly. I would go jogging, and I would set my jogging route based on like where different Pokemon would appear and where the different places where you fight people are. So yeah. So looking at the old Burger King Gold Play Pokemon cards that were released alongside the first movie, they made some weird choice about what Pokemon to include. It's always fun. It's always fun to look back on like big established franchises, look back at where they started and like the wild assumptions that they made. Like I will always go back to Nintendo Power's original coverage of Street Fighter 2. They put fucking Guile on the cover. They were like, Guile is our guy. Americans cannot identify with anyone who is not American. We're gonna put the most yeehaw American gung-ho guy front and center here. And then people got a hold of it and was like, everybody fucking loves Ryu. Everybody just plays Ryu. Can't remember Odyssey Red and Blue and Nintendo Power because Generation 1 is hilariously broken. I'm looking forward to it. I'm genuinely looking forward to getting into Pokemon at the right, well, I'm not going to be 42 when I do it. I might be 43. Well, that's probably pretty unlikely either. I'm looking forward to getting into Pokemon when I reach retirement age. Finally making the start of this series, like, what? 30, 35, 40 years after it came into being. They got Mewtwo and Pikachu, obvious ones. They have Charizard, obvious because of the popularity. They have Togepi? I only seen the anime with Misty, the Jigglypuff, Poliwrath. Poliwrath sounds scary. This theme goes with anything. It matters because they could hand the reins to different Pokemon, which would be cool to me specifically since Electric Rodents doesn't do it for you. Well, I mean, the games... Every time, like, they update the Pokemon roster for new games, right? Like Pikachu isn't in literally every game, right? Like there's different starters and different critters to play with each one, right? No, that's why there are Pikachu clones. Okay. There are exceptions. Overall, Pikachu is in most games. Okay. They added the roster for years until Switch versions, not including literally everything, and that was a huge... Oh, I did not know that. I didn't realize it was an additive thing. I thought they were doing... Because I know... I do have a dim awareness that every time a new Pokemon game comes out, like, people are posting all the different new Pokemon and stuff. I erroneously assumed that they were new rosters, and they weren't just stacking on top of the existing ones. I was mistaken, chat. Psyduck is also in all mainline games because the dev's favorite. Well, can't blame him for that, can ya? You can trade Pikachu to most games. I don't think he's in all of them natively. You want him in some regions harder. Okay, in Gen 3 they had two Pikachu likes, Minun and Plusle, with the abilities that buff them when both are on the field because Gen 3 introduced double battles. Gen 4 had an electric squirrel. Game Freak spent the 3DS generation bragging about having future-proof models and then not explaining why a ton of them were gone. Being able to transfer your collection is a big deal. Gotta catch them all and all that. So, does that mean when I start playing Pokemon game, if I go through them in order, I can take my Pokemans from the game I just finished and shove them into the new one? Pachirisu is adorable and should shoot Pikachu. It's an additive thing. It's wild too because the first gen was 150, second gen was something around 250, Gen 3 was around 350. These first three gens were memorable enough that you could learn all of them. Now you're genuinely past 1,000 Pokemon? Holy crap. That's crazy. The fundamental structure of Pokemon shifted from Gen 2 to Gen 3, so there was a split there. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I mean, this isn't... Trust me, this is not like a deal breaker or anything. This is just... I didn't know about this. I am so uneducated on the topic of Pokemon. It's fascinating to me to know that that's even a possibility. So yeah, if it's not a contiguous thing, if you can't do it all the way through the series, that's fine. I think the ability to carry a roster or even fragments of it between generations is already amazing. So possible to take GBA Pokemon to the latest game if you really want to. If you also say GBA Pikachu you really love, you have the hardware and software, you can take from the newest game. Okay. Gap between 2 and 3. 1 and 2 are both OG, GB. Gen 3 is GBA. Both because trading shenanigans and rewriting the base underlying rules that define their system. Gen 2 Pokemon are not compatible with Gen... Okay, okay. So the first two generations are kind of off on their own. And then from Generation 3, you can carry on more or less to the modern era. Probably gonna take some file wizardry to do on emulator. Imagine if there is anything that emulation wizards have figured out, I'm sure it's how to move Pokemon around. I have no doubt in my mind that there are few games on Game Boy or GBA that have had as much like emulation, attention, and engineering as the Pokemon games. I'm not concerned. Part of why the Gen 3 remake of Gen 1 was done and why the Gen 4 remake of Gen 2 was such a big deal. Oh, okay. Gen 4 remake of Gen 2 is huge in a lot of ways. Okay, interesting. This is fascinating stuff, chat. It's almost a shame we're talking about this now, like literal years before I'm actually going to get to these games. But I'll keep this in mind for as long as my withered brain meats will cling to it. Remake of Gen 2 is still one of your favorites of all time. Cross-compatible multiplayer, wow. Gen 5 was the first game where until you were in the post-game, you couldn't have any Pokemon that existed in the games beforehand. Everything in Nova was a new Pokemon. Interesting, okay. So you had to beat the entire game with the new set of Pokemon before you could import your old ones to screw around with them, huh? I think back in the day, some goon linked a website that would generate Pokemon for you and let you get it via trade in your net-enabled emulator. Oh, that's cool. That's really neat. Hi, Lodra, your messages aren't sending. Yeah, that's like the first message I've seen from you. Like, yeah, that one went through. I see you now. But if you were talking before this, I didn't see any of that. Huge controversy about Gen 5 back in the day. People take this Pokemon thing really seriously, huh? Twitch be twitchy. Twitch is still telling me that I'm dropping like half of my frames. But obviously, you know, we've been sitting here rambling for like 40 minutes and there hasn't been a huge fallout. I'm actually wondering, could one of y'all check something for me? Could y'all see if you have quality options for the stream right now? Like if you can change it to like 1080 or 720 or whatever. Because I am set up for transcoding. Okay, the options are there. Yeah, I was wondering, like, I'm set up for transcoding. And I was wondering if maybe something about that changed. Because on my end, I'm still uploading, like, the bitrate is still high enough to support transcoding. But, like, half of it's being dropped. So I was wondering if maybe, like, something happened on the back end that was, like, rejecting or something. But I guess not. I don't know, man. 720p 48, 480p 20 FPS. Weird. You can get me in like filmic mode, cinematic mode. Well, whatever. As long as y'all can hear me and watch me, nothing else matters. OBS can launch frames into space for all I care, as long as you get the important ones. Also, good evening, Cheese Toast. I see you there. Transcoding, I didn't know streams had genders. They do, actually. They do. Your stream can self-identify in any aspect ratio it wants, and we are accepting of all of them. Looks less filmic and more like you're on a Game Boy camera. Oh, so like found footage. Have to admit, starting with Gen 8, I haven't found Pokemon games nearly as compelling. Is there a particular reason? Is there something that you feel like the series fell off of because of that? Never cross-dressing the streams. Which is Gen 5? Black and white, and black and white too. Gen 5 also had a plot that wasn't utter garbage. Blair Oddish Project J. Satellite, you never actually finished a Pokemon, fell off long ago. One of the big reasons that Gen 8 is where the... Oh. That's a big deal. Gen 8 was where the DLC content started. If you aren't willing to shell out extra, you miss out. That is a very... It's a very unfortunate pairing. Like, Pokemon, unfortunately, really, really, really lends itself to DLC and microtransactions, doesn't it? That is an unfortunately appropriate fit. From a business standpoint. I'm not saying the game should have gone in that direction. I'm just saying it's really logical that they did. Tried out Sword and Shield, didn't vibe with it as much as previous gens. Felt like a lot of sense of exploration secrets. Love about the early games were entirely gone. XP, one of the games with nothing but EV forms except Charizard for flight. That's why I knew the game stopped trying. Stories handled in a really weird way. Something big sounding will happen. Adults walk in the room and go, okay, we'll take care of it for you. Trade on, you dropped out of Pokemon after Gen 5 despite trying Gen 6. Came with Gen 9. Actually loved Gen 9 despite some major issues. Went back and tried Gen 8. More traditional. And despite loving the game, the narrative was so fucking frustrating. Ended up hating it. Nothing in the story happened on screen. You're not involved at all. That does sound infuriating. That sounds really dumb. Beat Fire Red with a single Magikarp one. If it's gacha too, I gather the Pokemon gacha is you pulling for trainers or something. Pay 1 pain, move 1 tile, 2 pains, attack, dollar, throw a Pokeball. Good evening, Captain Horatio, Magellan Crunched. Good to see you tonight. Legit, you'll hear about this apocalyptic big threat, and literally your rival's older brother goes, continue onwards while I do the cool thing. I'm glad you only played blue. Those games are way too grindy for you. Also means there's no true dungeon in the game even. Huh. What a weird thing to do with your game. Anyway, chat, I'm not going to curtail Pokemon chat. This is definitely fascinating. But you're probably tired of having Fulgore stare into your soul here. So let's get back into the magazine. Talk about what we have to look forward to here. And then, you gotta turn the page. And then let's get going. Obviously, the big feature this month is Killer Instinct. I guess Nintendo and Rare got tired of waiting for the N64 to actually manifest into being. So they got Killer Instinct on Super NES, and they want everybody to buy it and play it, like Street Fighter 2 style. They're also gonna be tired. This is dumb, actually. So, okay. Obviously, up and around me is the full table of contents, but on the left-hand page, they popped out a couple of the features that they wanted to push a bit harder, give a little description of, put some very, very tiny screenshots of. Killer Instinct's the only one that's actually labeled. They bothered to put the logo there above the description of it, but the other three, which are DKC 2, Doom, and Castlevania Dracula X, they didn't actually bother to mention what they are. Like, we live here in the future where all these games are particularly well known, infamous if not famous. But at the time, if you actually wanted to know what they were talking about on pages 22 or 28 or 46, you had to go over to the table of contents to match up the page numbers and see what the actual title of the fucking game was. Somehow my brain erased the information that Killer Instinct was done by Rare. Man, Rare was like Nintendo's golden child in '95. Between Donkey Kong Country and Killer Instinct. Diddy's Conquest at least mentions by name. I mean, essentially the subtitle. And yeah, they put the word Doom in that one, but yeah. Yeah, they obviously had space for more logos. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were doing here. Shadows, please tell me you didn't just get that. We've been... It seriously comes up every stream that this game does. Good evening, Dave Thulu. Didn't want to cover up this great picture of a boxing ring as a background for some reason. It is kind of arguably like the least Killer Instinct background. Like, it's not a temple, it's not a ice field, it's not an active volcano. It's a boxing ring. Could be for anything. Could be Diddy Kong's boxing ring. Kitty's oh god. But yes, full coverage. We have 8 games getting the full coverage treatment this time. Killer Instinct, Doom, Red Alarm, and Golf are both Virtual Boy titles. Castlevania Dracula X, regrettably. The Mask. Yes, the Jim Carrey movie. Dragon the Bruce Lee story, and Galaga and Galaxian are back for some reason. There is only a single Take-Two review this month. It is not The Syndicate. It's Syndicate. It's Syndicate that was on DOS, and we played on this channel, and is really cool. Epic Center has Epic News. Part 2 of their big Chrono Trigger feature, which I think we're just gonna gloss over. I didn't mind reading through the initial Chrono Trigger feature, but since we are gonna do Chrono Trigger ourselves, I don't really feel the need to hash out the entire structure of the game before we get to it, even though most of y'all probably already know it. Feature on Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, and then more epic strategies. 3 special features this month. One is a preview of DKC 2. We're not actually there yet. It's still on the way. Men of Power, an insider's interview with NOA's top team. This could be interesting, just to see who was in charge at the time and what they had to say about the business. And then page 96. What color is yours? And should you see a doctor about it? I'll let the mystery of that one percolate for a bit. Vaguely remember the Mask game too. Forgot how long the original Game Boy lasted. Apparently only got fully discontinued in 2000. Yeah, the original Game Boy had some fucking legs. 4 analysis how many copies they sold. Ouch. Ouch. And then every issue is it's Players Pulse, Power Charts, Classified Information, Counselor's Corner, Players Poll Contest, Arena, Now Playing, Pack Watch. Next issue, nothing has changed. All the old standbys are still standing by. So now, chat, let us turn the page, open up requests, and get us hence. Get us going into the magazine. Guess about the upcoming Game Boy Pocket, which it is, and finally that also has some Pokemon-related trivia. Oh, really? Alright, this month, I've just read what Funky Kong wrote in Nintendo Power Volume 74. I agree with him. Cranky's an old geezer and has no idea what he's talking about. Donkey Kong Country is one of the best games ever. It truly is one of a kind. Well, I gotta sweep the porch at save point. That's from Candy Kong, actually. Ha 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 ha. How clever, how fun it is to put your fake letters in the letter section. Some people at school think Sega's better. Oh, here we go. Here we go, chat. We got console warrior bullshit front and center. All right, Mike Pascal, lay it on. Come on, lay it on us. Some people at my school think Sega's better than Nintendo. Come on, people. Who would buy a $400 system that's only 32-bit? The speed of its CD-ROM drive is as fast as that stupid hedgehog with no legs. I just know Nintendo is going to make Sega wet their pants with that new 64 and Virtual Boy. Yeah, wet their pants with laughter. Thanks for making a product that is durable, inexpensive, easy to use, and has graphics like I have never seen before. Mike Pascal is talking about something that doesn't exist yet. PS1 was 32-bit and $2.99. I love this stuff, chat. I absolutely adore this shit. I mean, I suppose I'm as much of a Nintendo fanboy as I can be. I grew up with them. I love them dearly. I'm disinclined to take them to task over things just because I have so much nostalgia for the old Nintendo systems. But this console war shit is inexcusable. I love it. I love this stupid, pointless bloviating that they all do. You know, we get this side of this because we're deep in the throes of Nintendo power. If we were looking at like Sega or PlayStation magazines, we'd be seeing the same, if not worse, without question. Actually, given the Saturn released early because Sega execs were terrified of the Jaguar, they probably were. Have you ever seen the video of the PS1 price announcement back when E3 was only there for business people? I don't think I did, actually. To be fair, the rental market being what it was, the durability of cartridges was a legitimate advantage. I do remember there being concerns over, yeah, rental CDs and how easy they were to damage and be rendered unplayable. So, yeah. Are you suggesting that Sega did what Nintendo didn't? You were looking at British Sega magazine, you'd see worse probably. You'd see way worse. Yeah. No. If they were all guilty. We were all guilty. I'm pretty sure I had my shameless Nintendo fanboy moments on the playground. Of that I have no doubt. We all participated. We were all card-carrying soldiers in the console wars that amounted to fuck all. I was shocked, no, flabbergasted about what I heard or read in the E3 report in Volume 74. Will there be a Game Boy version of Killer Instinct? Will it make use of the advanced computer modeling rendering technique? When will it be released? Will it have all 10 characters? Is it too much to ask for you to put a picture in a future issue? I am sure it'll break ground for the Game Boy in all categories. They actually replied to this. The wizards at Rare are hard at work on Game Boy KI, even as you're reading this, Brett. They managed to pack 8 characters found in the arcade and SNES versions, Super Game Boy enhanced colors, the 2-player option, and great music into a 4-meg powerhouse. Will the characters be fully rendered? But of course! Look for this killer game in November. Somebody request Game Boy Killer Instinct right now. Let's put it to the test. No one is innocent in console war. The price announcement is amazing. Sega gets on stage and announces they're bringing the Saturn to the US market 6 months early without letting their retail partners know ahead of time, announces the price at $399. Then Sony takes the stage and their spokesperson gets behind the podium and says one thing and only one thing, $299. Wow. All right, let's do this. I'm sorry, chat, but I gotta know. I will give Rare credit. Donkey Kong Land looked and animated a lot better than I thought it would. So I genuinely gotta know, what did they manage to accomplish with Game Boy Killer Instinct? I didn't even realize there was a Game Boy Killer Instinct. So this deeply fascinates me. I don't think we're gonna spend very long on this. I just got it. Will the characters be fully animated? No. But will the game be good? Also no. We have Donkey Kong Country Windswept is pretty much that game with a duck and a turtle, but with pixel graphics. That would appeal to me. Again, I must remind y'all, I am not a fan of the advanced, the AC, the advanced computer whatever the fuck it is. I've never really liked that style of rendering. It looks weird to me. Yeah, the SGI pre-rendered look does not do it for me. Big reason why I was not a DKC fan as a kid. I did not like the way that game looked. I just didn't. I wasn't big into fighting games at the time, but also a reason why I wasn't particularly interested in Killer Instinct. I didn't think it looked that good. Okay, cool. Ooh, The skeleton looks the most cracked. I'm gonna go with him. That looks pretty okay. Okay, Oh, man. Sorry, it's so dumb. Oh, I really thought I had her there. Oh my god, I actually got her! Holy shit, chat. Winner! Exceeded my expectations, my very, very low expectations. This version, okay, look, I am the wrong person to ask about, like, the veracity of a particular version of Killer Instinct. I don't play Killer Instinct. I have no fucking clue how these games work. I don't know how to do special moves. I don't know how to do combos. I don't know how to do shit in this, okay? Now, what I will tell you is this game controls really well. It is actually very responsive. It does actually feel good to play. It is well animated. The problem, obviously, is that it looks like ass. The game animates very well, but it looks like butt while it does it. So, while I can't tell you if it's a good version of Killer Instinct, I can tell you that for the Game Boy, it seems like a pretty passable fighting game. I know, I've seen better asses than this. Alright, that's all I wanted, chat. That's all I wanted. It is hideous but functional, which I don't think is enough for Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was basically sold on its graphical fidelity and how gonzo the gameplay was, and the Game Boy version looks terrible. And y'all make a very good point. On actual hardware, it must be invisible. Yeah. And while it is a passable, functional fighting game, I cannot imagine it captures the actual, like, insanity of proper Killer Instinct. Reminds me, who asked for Virtual Boy on Switch Online? I didn't. I would love to imagine that I, through the medium of the Power Hours, somehow inspired a groundswell of fan requests that led to this result. I know I didn't. I am grounded in logic and facts, and I know that I did not cause that. But just the notion that I could have is titillating. But yeah, why are they... I always assumed that, like, they just wanted to pretend the Virtual Boy never existed. I was genuinely surprised that there is a fully featured Virtual Boy display at the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto. It is at the very, very back of the exhibition hall. It's probably the last one you will find, but it is there. It does show all the games. It does have screens that you can look into to simulate the Virtual Boy experience, and it has warnings not to stare into them for too long because they will give you a headache. So I have absolutely no idea why they decided to re-inflict that on the world. No idea whatsoever. It is fascinating in its perverseness. We have just received volume 73, and it was the best ever. As we were flipping through it, we saw something that shocked us so bad, we nearly fainted. Staring at us as the finest looking video game system ever produced. Forget the Sega Saturn. We're talking about the NU64, the best system ever. Everything we ever wanted in a video game system was right there. The 4-player controller outlets for multiplayer fun without an expensive adapter, a beautiful black control deck, and what's this? Cartridges? No CDs? Yes! Thank you! According to Trevor and Stephen Green of Woodridge, Illinois. Reckless spite, persnickety historical accuracy? What gets me, what kills me about it is Nintendo technically made 2 3D systems. And one of them could be argued was quite beloved and holds many games that people would love to have accessible again. And the other is the Virtual Boy. And which one did they bring back? These people definitely exist, totally real children. Dear Nintendo Power, I never thought it could happen to me. There's still no mainline Pokemon games on Switch Online? Yeah, what the hell is up with that? Do you think maybe they're holding off in case they decide to remake them and sell them separately? Because that's always the first thing that I look at. Like, whatever is not on Switch Online at this point, they're probably they either don't care, or they're gonna remake it or re-release it in like a full retail form. That's my guess. GameCube? Nah, forget that. You can't interfere with the pay $300 in the cartridge for Pokemon Emerald Market. Probably the reason that the Ice Ray wearing for Virtual Boy is because of the way the screen... Oh no, we know all about that trade-on. Nintendo Power had a big technical breakdown on the Virtual Boy a couple months ago, and we talked all about it. It's insane, honestly. It is barely one step up from just like shooting red laser beams into people's eyes. Like, it is unbelievable that they ever thought that was a good idea.
「 Nintendo Power は Nintendo の 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 Nint
Like, I have to assume they just didn't test it at all. They were like, we want to do this. We want to make a 3D system. It doesn't matter how we do it. We're just going to do it. It doesn't matter how much it hurts. It doesn't matter what sacrifices we must make. We're going to bring this into being. Anyway, they actually have a Power Players Poll contest winner breakdown, which is kind of interesting. What could be better for an avid baseball fan than a trip to visit ESPN during baseball season? How about seeing a spectacular game at Yankee Stadium? Don't even bother answering either of those questions, because Joel Davis, winner of the Players Poll contest from volume 64, a full year ago, got to do both and more. Joel and his father, Dwayne, jet off from the Minnesota home to the Big Apple for a whirlwind weekend. Excursions to the Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty were on the bill. The jewel in the grand prize crown was the trip out to Bristol, Connecticut, to the ESPN studios. Joel got to meet and talk with Chris Berman and other ESPN on-air personalities. Chris was amazed that Joel won the trip simply by signing a player's poll card. It was too easy. Being able to see all the pre-production processes going to a live broadcast was really cool, and then watching the end result, live broadcasts of ESPN Sports Center and Baseball Tonight right from the studio. The ultimate capper, something Joel and Dwayne will remember the rest of their lives, was a legend of Pedro Gonzalez and the hidden ball trick back in 1962 as told by an anonymous Yankee fan. What a game. This Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 game is entirely built around linking with the main game to let you battle in 3D, and that feature doesn't work because the mainline games aren't on Switch. Lucky Bastard sells the full Gens 1 through 3 from when you were a kid. I actually do have... I've showed you this. I can show you again. Get out the old Vault Tech lunchbox here. Because I gotta keep these safe. Maximum security here. Now I don't know if any of these work, because yes, I know about the batteries in them. But yeah, I received a donation of Game Boy games quite some time ago, and I actually have 3 Pokemon cartridges. I have a Pokemon Red here. I have a Special Pikachu edition here. And what the hell is this? I have Pokemon Gold. It would be neat if these actually still worked, and I could play Pokemon on the actual cartridges, but I'll have to test them out at some point. OGGB batteries still hold up for the most part. The only games that run out like nobody's business are Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon games. They use real-time clocks, which drains... Oh, that would do it, wouldn't it? Red and yellow should be fine, but gold is dead, dead, dead. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't actually go to the trouble, but are the batteries replaceable? Is that something that is... Well, it's got to be possible. Anything's possible in electronics, but how feasible is it? What frustrates me more about Switch Online is N64 and Game Boy Mario Tennis and Golf have content themed around linking the two. You can use your custom Game Boy character on console and unlock lots of content for the Game Boy version by linking to N64. Both versions of both games are on Switch Online. They're not bothered to let you connect them. God. They'll watch batteries, but they'll delete your save. Okay. Well, I don't have a save, so. So that's cool. In 15 or 20 years, when we finally get to Pokemon Gen 1, I can play it on the actual cartridge. I checked my Blue again after many dormant years and got told the file data has been destroyed. Wow. Not just lost. Destroyed. Batteries are soldered coin batteries. They're easily available. You need to be able to desolder them to replace them. Most places will charge you about $20 to $25 a pop for those games. I might be able to do that myself. It's been a long time since I did any soldering, but I was able to handle as a kid. I imagine I'd be able to do as an adult. Alright, one last thing here. There's a little editor's corner bit right here from Gail Tilden, editor-in-chief. She went on to do a whole bunch of shit. A truckload of top-notch Super NES games is headed your way through the end of the year, and we're going to give you the power edge by rolling out 4, count them, Player's Guides. Right now, our fighting experts are putting the finishing touches on the Killer Instinct Player's Guide. With awesome picks and instructions for hundreds of killer combos. The KI Player's Guide will be available at video game stores and bookstores by the 1st of September, or order it direct using the card at the back of this issue. Later this year, get ready for Player's Guides for Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Chrono Trigger, and Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. The Kong Quest. It's like the word conquest, chat. It's a play on words. It's all part of our pledge to bring you the latest and greatest game-playing info. Replace the battery, you lose your save. The way the saves on old games work is via SRAM. Basically, a secondary portion of the RAM the save stored on kept alive by the bat. Yeah. I gotcha. Cheap way to do saves like that. Nothing says kid-friendly like an 800-degree pencil. To be fair, it was middle school, and it was a summer robotics camp. The centerpiece of the robotics camp was putting together a kit robot and programming it. And part of that was soldering all the components onto its main board. So I was in 8th grade at the time, and it was honestly really fun. It was really cool, and it turned out I was pretty good at soldering. I literally have not done it since then, but I remember exactly how to, because it was a really, really cool experience. I just caught a glimpse down here in the phone directory. Nintendo Power Subscriptions, Consumer Service, talk to Game Counselor, Powerline. Modem into the source. Did people actually use modem as a verb? Nintendo Power on the internet. www.nintendo.com. Email nintendo@nintendo.com. Alright, chat. Time for the charts. What do we got in the charts? Alright, well, for the Super NES, Donkey Kong Country, the de facto greatest game of all time, remains at number 1 on the chart. Killer Instinct, which was number 9 last month, is now number 2. Final Fantasy III, what we now know as Final Fantasy VI, is what we now know as 3rd place. Then we got Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Chrono Trigger, at number 5. Super Metroid, Earthworm Jim, Earthbound, Doom, and Ogre Battle are the top 10. That is one hell of a top 10, actually. You got Final Fantasy III, Chrono Trigger, Ogre Battle, arguably, holding up the RPGs. You got, Zelda and Super Metroid. You got your fighting game represented. You got some classic platformers. You got Doom. Didn't even run that well, man. The rest of it. Mortal Kombat 2, Secret of Mana, Mega Man X2, Ken Griffey, Aerobiz Supersonic, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Final Fantasy 2, what we now know as Final Fantasy 4. Illusion of Gaia, Super Mario Kart, and Judge Dredd at number 20. Huh. New to the chart. How was Doom on the SNES? Not good. It ran at a borderline unplayably low resolution and really poor frame rate. it compared very poorly to the likes of Wolfenstein 3D. Yep. Very impressive that it exists, but it barely exists. It runs in 4:3, not aspect ratio, resolution. I remember when I was a kid, I would sometimes mess around with Dark Forces, and I'd lower the resolution as far as it would go, and it seriously played in like, fuck, I don't know, like 100:60. It was so funny. It was like impressionist Dark Forces, whereas just this big I mean, it ran beautifully. It ran at like 100 frames a second, but it was like, Okay. You have requested Dragon the Bruce Lee story. Yes, I see that Dragon the Bruce Lee story is on this page. However, I'm gonna veto this one because it gets an actual feature in this issue. And I want to wait and read about it first before we do that. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Game Boy Top 10. Legends of Zelda Link's Awakening, Donkey Kong Land, Metroid 2, Donkey Kong Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Wario Land, Galaga, Galaxian, and Dr. Mario. The Game Boy Top 10 is more or less static. 1, 2, 3, and 4 did not move from last month. Number 5 last month slipped 1 place. Number 7 from last month jumped up 2 places. Galaga Galaxian is the only new one on here. And tell you how it handles multiplayer? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And then they got top 10 fighting games. Obviously, number 1 is Killer Instinct. 2 is Super Street Fighter 2. 3 is Mortal Kombat 2. Weapon Lord. I'm glad to see Weapon Lord up here. Weapon Lord was honestly a really cool game. Fatal Fury Special, Samurai Showdown. Excellent showing for SNK. Clay Fighter Primal Rage, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and Justice League Task Force. I'm not the biggest fan of Clay Fighter or Justice League. We haven't played Dragon yet. I don't think I've actually... Have I played Primal Rage? I don't remember. Might have slid off my brain. Aside from the scandal of Super Street Fighter 2, I don't think any of these are really bad. Some of them are in fact quite good. Everything I want to request is showing later this issue anyway. I mean that's fine. That's fine. We don't need to spend much time on the power charts. We got well and truly distracted by it last month. We don't need to do that every month. Despite having several opponents, there's exactly 1 playable character for humans, Bruce Lee. If you do multiplayer, you get the choice to play as Bruce Lee and 2 other recolors, named respectively Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee. Oh my god. That's so shitty. Alright, Most Wanted. The very first Virtual Boy game makes the charts this month as Mario Clash checks in at number 8. 4 present, future Super NES games also appear, as Nintendo Power readers declare loud and clear they still love their 16-bit system. If you want your voice to be heard, be sure to send in the player's full card in this issue. The number 1 most wanted thing on Earth in September of 1995 is the Nintendo Ultra 64. Number 2 is Killer Instinct on Nintendo Ultra 64. Number 3 is the Virtual Boy. They know not what they do, chat. 4 is Doom on Nintendo 64. 5 is Donkey Kong Country 2, 6 is Cruis'n USA, and we got Mortal Kombat 3, Mario Clash, Donkey Kong Country, and Final Fantasy 3, what we now know as Final Fantasy 6. Can't say I'm surprised by any of this. I've been reading these Most Wanteds for so long now, I can't say I'm surprised by any of it. And then the Hall of Fame, we got Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and Space Invaders, the arcade game. The Super Game Boy version, in fact. Anyway. Let's talk about why we're all here, chat. Let's talk about the reason for the season. And that is an incredibly poorly textured werewolf. Just... wow. That is one way to attempt fur, I guess. The must-play street fighting game of 1995 is coming home, and only to the Super NES. The master developers at Rare and Nintendo have created an incredibly faithful 16-bit translation of the year's hottest arcade smash. Some said it couldn't be done. What the naysayers thought was impossible has been accomplished. The Killer Instinct arcade game has been successfully translated into a 16-bit game pack that retains all the excitement. I mean, say what you will, fluff it up as much as you want. I just played Killer Instinct on Game Boy. And your scientists spent so much time wondering if they could, they never asked if they should. What are you talking about? For that time, it's very impressively textured ball. Yo. Yeah. All the awesome features that make Killer Instinct #1 in the arcades are in the home version and then some. Your favorite Killer Instinct characters are back, and their special moves, speed moves, and combos are with them. Even the exclusive Idol is here. Also included in the game. God, this is a lot of text, chat. Fuck me. A lot like this stream, really. Good evening, Eva. It's good to see you. Also including the game are the sky stages. You can send your opponents soaring off the wall blue yonder into certain destruction far below. Of course, some allowances have been made for the differences between an arcade console and the Super NES. A couple of danger moves had to be redesigned, for example. But some graphic elements have actually been improved for the home version, chat. Many of the backgrounds have been enhanced with new details, like character reflections and surrounding surfaces and more animated elements, and the color palette you choose for your fighter is retained for the bout-ending victory portrait. Though a couple of voices didn't make it in, you'll definitely hear what kind of combo you threw, as well as the danger warning, and all the music is present in its full stereophonic glory. The other cool features that will enhance your Killer Instinct experience beyond what you can find in the arcade, including 2 new play modes. The practice mode, I mean, this should be standard, allows you to fight without a time limit against an unresponsive opponent who never takes damage. You can practice combos to your heart content without fear of getting a boot to the head in return. The tournament mode allows you to enter up to 8 player names, and the computer will then set up a series of matches and keep track of player stats as carnage unfolds. Even an option that forces players into random select mode after a certain number of wins. There's no hiding behind a favorite character. When the game arrived at NOA headquarters, KI fever spread like wildfire, fanned by rivalries that popped up in every department. From product analysis to technical services and consumer service to Nintendo Power, even our security officers got swept up. We end up with lots of in-house experts who have hours and hours of KI beneath their black belts. This month we're going to let you meet some of them, and they're going to disclose some of the elite moves that kept them at the top of the KI heap here at NOA. The following pages are packed with killer moves and strategies for their favorite characters and some for their second choice characters as well. Is that magazine article or the Dead Sea Scrolls? They do mean arcade hardware. I don't know why they call it an arcade console. Speaking of Pokemon, CMLL, a Lucha Libre League, had a free show today to announce the new one, or promote the new one. Really? Yeah, they meant arcade cabinet, surely. They were still sick with KI fever. Messed up their vocabulary, chat. These things happen. We should obviously be more understanding. All right. Hello. Hi. All right. I'm definitely more interested in the nerds that contributed to this feature than the actual contents of the feature itself. Crowd's crazy. Everyone's wearing personal gear for the occasion. Pokemon dolls and lucha masks. Fighting Fanatic, when we need to have great gamers, test Killer Instinct. Sean McVeigh was one of the first on the list. After countless hours of playing, he had no problem naming a favorite character. Jago. Quote, I like Jago because he's small and fast. He's also powerful. He has a projectile fireball and he has a great wind kick that can go through fireballs. I like pitting Jago against Saberwolf, who spews lots of fire. He says that Jago works well against Saberwolf's charge moves, and he likes to use combos to start with his laser sword opener. It's easy to use. It's definitely a cool looking combo element. He's fast in the arcade version. I think he's even quicker in the Super NES version. So these aren't special moves, these are combos. Alright, Jago combo 4, light punch times 24. These diagonal to diagonal rolls are kind of weird. Like I see a fireball motion, I see a dragon punch motion. Product evaluator Henry Sturchy was locked away in the treehouse playing KI for weeks on end when both the arcade and Super NES versions were being tested. His fighter of choice, the Orchid. Found a lot of little timing moves with the Orchid, like waiting on the linker until the last minute and throwing in a lot of slap moves, like a fierce punch. Usually I'm going to link that to a finisher. He also has a good press and release move with the cat. I wait and anticipate people. I kind of like to psych them into a weird game. If they make the wrong move or play a projectile, I'm ready to strike at them with the cat. Kind of strikes fear into them. Is there any character she's best against? Anyone that Ken uses. We've had a lot of work in Riptor battles, Ken and I have. So Jagon's supposed to go Mortal Kombat, Pimp, and Rump. Got it, yeah. Seems like he's into that kind of shit. So, okay. Just going off of these combos, it looks to me like Jago is kind of a traditional Street Fighter-y character. Orchid's a charge character? Maybe? K.I. Ken is development manager and product acquisition development. Ken Lobb helped create many of the moves in the game. He's the combo king at NOA, and Riptor is his favorite character. I like Riptor the best because he and Orchid have the most combos in the game. That's because any of his openers can be used in place of linkers. There's a lot of what we call slappy combos, which use regular hits in the middle of or at the end of a combo and knock the opponent down. Then you can juggle him as he falls backwards. Riptor does those techniques best. I wanted Riptor to be a charge character. I like charge characters, and I really like the charge switches. There's something Rare came up with for TJ combo, starting a charge move and turning it into another move in the middle of the charge. So by the time we made Riptor, the idea was already done. As we built the moves for Riptor, we put in all the charge reversals. The ability to run and then go into a rake, or run and turn it into the flame, or rake the air and turn it into the flip or the fireball. TJ combo was the first to have those moves. Riptor is the best. That's actually kind of cool. I like hearing the design concepts that go into these characters. That's always pretty illuminating. It's a neat concept to take a charged character and give him a little bit more versatility, allowing you to move from one move to another, from the charge into a different kind of move. That's pretty neat. Product tester Armand Williams has played every character extensively. Says Chief Thunder hands down is my character of choice from the beginning. He brandishes two axes, which is pretty cool. It appealed to me that his hair was feathers, and when he does the Samamish, the feathers glow. It's a cool effect. Use them a lot against characters that charge toward me. Take, for example, Bjorkid. She spins with her legs. If I'm in a blocking stance, I can block her move and counter it. The Triplax. That sounds like something you take for stomach issues. I see half circles and double taps for this guy. The Doyles. Martin and Mark Doyle have people at NOA seen double. They're both game counselors, they're both KI masters, and the identical twins both select Spinal when they pick up the controller. That's pretty cool. Mark like Spinal because he has all the weird charge moves and auto doubles. He can transform into other characters, a hard character to learn. Okay. Lester the Unorthodox. During his working hours, Lester Lewis is a technical services supervisor at NOA Experiments. He's challenging all takers in the KI arena. For him, there's no choice. Cinder is it. When I first saw KI, I saw Cinder, I said, that's my character. He's just it. No matter what anybody says. He can turn invisible, he can morph, he can turn into a fireball, he can fly across the screen. He has the strength to suck an opponent's life bar down to a quarter. Sometimes with one combo. He's a finesse character. A lot of his combinations are extremely pretty. I don't play like other people who use Cinder do, though. I'm an unorthodox Cinder. I'm kind of hard-headed. I think Cinder would be, too. Apparently, Armand went on to work on Project Gotham Racer. Oh, that's cool. Pretty neat. Product analyst Matt Glidden has put in so many hours playing KI, has begun to identify with the strong but silent. So more about Chief Thunder. Part of the electronic pre-press team, Carl Deckard helps produce the pages of Nintendo Power. When he's not his Power Mac, he's most likely to be caught with a Super NES controller in hand, Fulgore on screen. Mark Doyle was the coordinator for Metroid Prime Trilogy. Oh, cool. That's super cool. It's neat to see these people went on to do more stuff. Scott Dow's layout designer for Nintendo Power. Scott designs all the KI. Chat, we found Nintendo Power's layout designer. We found our criminal. Slap the cuffs on him. Get me the warrant. He likes the cool looks and hot moves of Glacius. Scott! Straight became an assistant manager, product manager in 2010-2013 as well. A warrant has been issued. Where in the world is Scott Dow's? He must answer for his crimes. Is it just me or is Glacius' combos insanely simple? Quarter circle, medium kick, fierce kick, quarter circle, fierce punch. That's it? That's all you gotta do. I have a dim memory of being in the arcade and watching Killer Instinct. And there was a guy playing as Glacius who could basically do like infinite combos. Like combos like in the hundreds. Like I remember he would play people. And once he started a like I remember there was one match with a guy where the dude playing Glacius started a combo and the other guy just walked away. And the Glacius dude did like a 200 hit combo or something on him. Picture someone sending a grouchy email complaining about 90s extreme layout design. Shane Evans, self-proclaimed product analysis KI god, a title disputed by fellow product analysis Matt Thunder Glidden, swears that Saberwolf is the leader of the KI pack. What is this? What is this, Dave? Oh my god. Back in the mid-90s, I worked for Nintendo Power Magazine as a graphic designer. I did save some of my work. I was getting ready to throw away when I got a call from Interactive Art Collection. I said, the only way I had. Wow. Now, I'm going to give this guy a pass because that feature behind him is from a couple years ago. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones there. But yeah. It's more modern stuff, man. Oh god! Oh jeez. Okay. Well, I guess that's Killer Instinct, chat. Spared for now. It's kind of an unconventional feature. You know, and personally, I think it's kind of a good way to do. It's a good way to cover a fighting game that has actually been out in other formats for a while now. You know, people. Because I'm me, and I don't actually care that much about the technical aspects of the game. I would be interested in like more stuff about the story and background on the characters and descriptions of their special moves and stuff, but I totally get that at this point in KI history, that's not necessary. You know, KI is about crazy ass combos. So having a feature where people are talking about their personal strategies for playing these characters against others and what combos, starters they use for them, that's smart. I appreciate that. Just gonna say it might be hard for me to check Moby Game stuff today. It seems like the site is fucked up in some way right now. A ton of random peeps now have 0 credits on 0 games to send you to a 4-4. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully it's just somebody tripped over a cable on the back end or something. They just need to plug it back in or whatever. Including me. Oh well. Sometimes it feels that way anyway. Now worked on 0 games. Did you know? Well. Ah, well. Alright, well anyway, we've already thoroughly enjoyed KI on Game Boy, so I think we can scoot on to the preview of Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. See, it's Kong Quest, like the word, I'm not. Captured alive in the spot. What? Diddy and Dixie recently staged a spectacular show at Rare's studio in the UK. That's why it came to life through the wizardry of Rare's specialized development tools and SGI supercomputers. The following images capture glimpses of the magic and artistry of this ultimate video game in progress. I don't really want to read all this, chat, honestly. We can look at the pretty pictures. These are some neat renders. These are the maps, I think. They do look familiar in that. These rendered images have never appeared in a game that you could actually play. The Super NES graphics are direct color reduction to these elements, though, and they look almost as impressive. Artists posed the character in wireframe, add background elements, and rendered the finished screen with lighting effect. Even with the challenged supercomputer for Silicon Graphics, the rendering of each image can take many minutes and sometimes hours. Surprisingly, some of the map images seen here are rendered more quickly than scenes with Dixie and Diddy. Oh my god. Now reminded Moby Games page is cracking me up where it turns out Mozart has a page for when games use royalty-free music, and its frequent collaborators include Beethoven, Franz Liszt, and Yuri Lowenthal. You might have done a save state last time you played. Actually, I didn't. I didn't. While I was flailing around trying to get the save state to work, I reset the system, so. We can do what we did before. We can just work our way through the same levels that we did before, chat. I mean, I did them before, so can't be that hard. Right? Alright, that's all set. Run back time! The guy in the center never made it to the game. I always call this Diddy Kong's Quest, and I know that's wrong. You're a real troublemaker, you know that? God. I hope it was this version. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll just look for any save file. Forget Rareware. Nintendo presents. Yes, here we go. Cool, good. 6% done. Fantastic. Do 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 do. I have to remember to play this. Honk! Never gets old. Honk! No, I didn't save it all last time. Well, look at it this way. You get that much more DKC too. Practically double. Do you think Yuka Replay will be a good do-over a game we have to pay a second time for? With a premise like that, no. I'm just gonna say no. Oh, the water has faux depth, the bottom on top by a parallax. It is really cool, isn't it? The background of this level is actually really, really neat. The background has some real basic 3D going on. No, I had shit. I had that too. Damn it, there's a giant ass coin over there and I wanted it. Snack! I know I said this last time, I'm gonna say it again. I love this song. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the DKC games, but I love their soundtracks, and this is one of my favorite songs on any of them. Well, that sucks. I read Shanky for some reason. David Wise is an insanely talented composer. Okay, let's put it that way? No. There we go. Surprisingly difficult jump. Onk! No, my snack friend! Snack friend, no! Arg! Ah, yes. I remember this shit. Shit! Got back from Target. Last thing I saw was you barely turning the page for the first time. What games I missed? You missed Game Boy Killer Instinct. Ifins, you can believe it. There's a remix in Bonanza. Whee! But I say I missed nothing at all. Yeah, Game Boy Killer Instinct is passable for the Game Boy. But not a good Killer Instinct. SNS Killer Instinct was in the magazine, did not get requested this time. Have we played it? I don't actually remember if we played it or not. Alright. This is so fucked up, man. Doing that with your own eggs. Urgh! I think we did once. Maybe more chances, KI. Yeah, it's not like KI is like ever going away. Oh! Oh, good thing I was holding that one. Oh, okay. Ah, Jesus. Fuck. It takes so long to throw things. Well, shit, man. Fuck off, man. Take on a new Super Robot Wars people liked. Orf, 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 orf. TLDR version of the Frogger's originally Western distributor ran by a ton of stupid old dudes, almost passed on like they passed on Pac-Man. You employ base at Force and Middle prototype made for a bar literally called Spanky Saloon. Huh. Alright, Crocodile Cauldron. Hot Head Pop. Fuck mouse. Oh yeah, those guys. Honk! Get the fuck out of my way, Diddy. Oh shit. Barrel crocs, it just sounds so damn scary. They're so loud. They're highly disruptive. Am I carrying this for a reason? I don't remember. I am. Yes. Yes. Collect the stars. Treasure this away. Oh, fuck. Ah! Her hair is kind of finicky to use. What was the fucking... There's a way to make platforms. What was it? I don't know why it's fighting. The spider has 8 sneakers. It's like super extra cartoony. Y and Y again? Oh no, it's A and A again. That's what it was. Okay, cool. Takes a little learning. The reason people basically only use Dixie. I mean, yeah. You can fly. Pretty handy, that. kind of like this, I guess. Oops. Three makes it even worse because the other Kong's another heavy dude. I did it! A big ugly dude coin. Honk! Get honked, idiot. Whee! Man, this level is just use the spider. Just do spider things. Unnecessary shoes on animals, my weakness is instantly charming. Yeah, fucking coin. Hell yeah. No! God damn it. God damn it, spider bro. Let's a spider sneak. So what? Want to fight about it? That's Schwankies. Oh yeah, that's not an enemy. That's a store or something. I think the spider gets pissed off when limited edition sneakers released because I have to buy 4 pairs. Yes. Honk. Oh no! Haha. Shit. Scalpers are brutal, yeah. Real quick, give me your game. Your what? Your game headcanons? No, damn your eyes. So, okay, that's what's been screwing me up. So, when she's somersaulting, you can't flip, like, you can't use the hair out of that. Only when she jumps normally. I think that's been screwing me up. I don't want to do that. Oh, God. Wow, you get, like, no air off that. Okay. I know, it's tragic. Good music, yes. DKC cartoon did something I always thought was clever. K. Rool's always just a King Army design. And mainly this canon gets a separate villain to represent DKC too. Oh, cool. Link's Awakening has Kirby as an enemy. He's so he keeps a. Oh yeah, I saw you post that. Oink oink. Okay, let's not go that way. Let's just get through this. I remember I had a lot of trouble with this one the last time I played this. Shit! Oh. Haha, I accidentally survived that. But not that. Honk. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa! Got that. Oh, shit. Freaked me out. Do not want. Fuck. I think there are good crocs out there. They can't all be bad, right? Almost didn't get that one. So I can also, oh yeah. Yaha! You made dying with that volcano level render was cool. I know, right? Totally worth it. Like, I could see... I see far too late that you can just go for it. No. Okay. I guess I'm going this way. Fuck me then. Aha! Whatever, man. We're out of here. I'm looking for old ass Kong, right? To save. Ah yes, the lava boat. How could I forget? Cool, yeah. Crank is a weird online beef with Mario and keeps making alts on social media sites to troll his profile. Funky also lets you fly to previous area. Okay. So I can also do it that way. Okay, so this isn't lava. This is just really, really, really hot water. Like, distressingly hot. Nope. That really, really hot water cools down immediately when I... Fuck, you know what's gonna happen. Cools down immediately when the steel spits on it. Yeah, I don't know how that works, necessarily. The magic of seal spew, I guess. Honk! That coin. Water cools down immediately. Phrasing is a lost art, chat. Can't touch me, motherfucker! Oh, you big poofy thing. No! Okay. Hello. Yeah! Oh, that's not nothing. Whoa there, champ. Ah! I hate those guys. They're very scary. Oh, I actually have to figure it. Boom! Kongs have a massive family group chat, and there's been several instances of funky high and posting absolute fucking nonsense in it. Kong College, here we go. I haven't seen my husband cranky, complains and knows everything. Save game. Yes. You know, we kind of skated through this. I'm willing to go a little bit further. I'm willing to go to the next save point. Bye. Oh, Lord in heaven. Haha, get fucked. Honk. Honk that motherfucker. How the hell is this gonna work? Okay, sure. As you like. Okay, can we just... Yeah, okay, cool. Get absolutely fucked upon. Oh shit, I don't even do anything. He knows what to do. Shockingly, this stage is a hell of a lot easier when you have a rhino who just instantly kills anything you run into. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Now is not the time for juggling. Yeah, now that you've observed this, say goodbye to your rhino. Well, I do appreciate them getting me through the first half of the stage essentially unscathed. That was nice. actually haven't been paying any attention to how, like, Dixie's been struggling to, like, stay with the balloon this whole time. Nanas. I did that on the first try, chat. I had a way harder time with that the first time. I guess my body just remembered how to do it. Squawk's shaft. I don't want to see their shit. Too bad. You signed up for this. In for a penny, in for a shaft, I always say. Oh, fuck. Well, let's do that again. It's so much fun, I decided to do it twice. Ah! Do it again! 3 times! Oh, shit. Obviously my favorite part of the game. No! God, Jesus. Oh, the comedy of errors. So tell them they were a rage game about DKC barrels? Surely they must have. Surely someone has. These are about some tricky ass things. Oh. Ah, shit! I think the annoying thing about the hair is it's on the same button that lets you run. So if you want to run and jump, you have to hold the hair button, hit the jump button, let off the hair button, and then push the hair button again. Like that. Alright. Flappy Kong. By the way, it doesn't work on red. Blup, blup, blup. I know he's shooting coconuts, but they look like cheese balls to me. Oh shit! Okay. Oh god! They're a boomerang. Makes sense. The hitbox is the monkey. Glad to see the hook rocks aren't actually missing both their hands. It's just a bit. Shit. I hope they use that guy again later in the game. It'd be kind of weird if they made that one character model just for that guy. No, what the hell? God, this thing has a huge hitbox. Whee! It's so funny that the game won't actually proceed until you're able to land on solid ground and die properly. No! Shit! Fuck. Oh, Christ. My hands are tired now. I got a single banana for that. Fuck you. DKC was the first game to implement Dark Souls period. Cleavers kill. Oh, I remember this fight. This fight's really dumb. I remember this horse shit. Boink. Seriously, man. Where's cannonballs coming from, huh? My immersion! Oh God, what the hell, man? No, 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 do not want, do not want. Not a fan. Ugh. Whew, okay. Hand rising out of the lava, swing flames are fantastic. It is a fantastic concept, though. It's just kind. What did I get that for? Remember to duck back in and save before you beat this guy before you head to the next area. Yes, thank you. Good call. Can I also save here at the Monkey Museum? Give them now before the kids realize you're not as popular as Donkey Kong was. I can recommend the really expensive ones, actually. Oh no, those are just tips. Okay. I don't want to help you too much. I don't want you to help me at all. Fucker. Two coins? Highway robbery. Whatever, man. Alright, we've done it. We have recouped our lost progress and saved what we have done. Everything's great. Everything's fine now, chat. Peace in our time. Whack to make you pay to save, yeah. Yeah, well, it was the olden days. Friction was in. Like it was where I'd farm coins this game. He is funky to travel the next area, okay. Well, you'll have to remind me of that the next time we play this, so. Moving on to Doom. Webster's defines Doom as 1, a decision or judgment, especially an official condemnation to serve a penalty. 2, destiny or fate. 3, inevitable destruction. Williams Entertainment defines Doom as the video game that has changed the face of gaming. Williams Entertainment introduces one of the best games ever for the Super NES and one of the bloodiest. Doom plays with the dangerous first-person role of a Martian Marine sent on a one-way mission to a futuristic base where howling alien demons have turned the locals into hamburger. Grab a gun or butter a bun, because now it's your turn on the grill. Scareware Supreme. Doom began life as a PC shareware program. All players could get free samples, but they had to buy registered copies from id for the full game. Doom became a phenomenon that rocked the PC world, with players jumping out of their virtual skins when hideous demons charged them in realistic first-person perspective. Now, Super NES version, programmed by Sculptured Software, recreates 22 of the original 28 stages with frightening quality. Frightening how hard it is to see anything. You can see how far we are from the NOA censoring everything era. Doom used the FX2 chip to enhance the speed of the graphics, which results in very realistic motion as you run or sneak through maze-like bases. The detail of the texture map surfaces looks almost as good as the PC version. 16 megabits in memory, Doom weighs in as the largest FX game ever. Politically incorrect. Oh, chat. Don't have to worry about Doom being woke back in 1995. The SRB board gave Doom the first Super NES mature rating ever, citing the graphic violence and gore in the game. The rating suggested players should be 17 years of age or older. Doom certainly contains a great deal of violence and gore, but its blood factor is similar to a number of games that receive teen ratings. Players will have to decide for themselves. Experimental transporters on the moons of Mars began beaming in savage aliens from another dimension. You receive orders to clean up the mess. Your ship lands on Phobos, and while you remain outside the base, your comrades explore the carnage and are added to it. Now all alone and unable to navigate back to Mars, you have no choice but to enter the deadly base armed, only with a pistol. Welcome to the horror. Design Power knowing the average age of their readers are 11, so they can't scare them off. True, hell is a dimension. Kinda makes me wonder, though. No, they do call them out as demons. Okay, scenario 1 is entitled Knee Deep in the Dead. Did they name... They call these guys just Barons. I did know 3DO Doom was made in like 6 weeks, yeah. Okay, so they kept the name The Shores of Hell. Maybe it was just Nintendo Power not wanting to lean too far into the infernal aspects of it. Didn't really want to call out that you're climbing into hell itself to shoot demons in the face. Wouldn't want any hoity-toity moms getting the wrong idea. Does the program task porting the Doom to Sega Saturn managed to get running full speed and full screen? The devs of Doom were pissed that the Saturn could do that. PC's still somehow had trouble with it. They forced porters to make the Saturn port function work. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. They want Midwestern parents to buy this game for their kid. Yes. I mean, they still use, like, the original key art for it, so... Those are pretty obviously demons. This is about Saturn version of texture warping and demand is poor with the weird folk 3D rendering, make it run worse. Carmack regrets that. That makes a lot more sense. So they don't go through what levels are specifically in Shores of Hell and Inferno here, but it's Doom, chat. We played Doom on here before. It runs really poorly, unfortunately. I mean, not terribly surprising. The Super Nintendo can run Wolfenstein 3D admirably, but that seems to be the limits of its abilities. So yeah. Speaking of the limits of its abilities. Red Alarm! Flying through a virtual world. You think you got the right stuff to be a Top Gun pilot? Not in wireframe red 3D, no. So we played this one a little bit. It is conceptually very interesting, but pretty difficult to play. Super NES is as powerful as a pregnancy test or a microwave. True enough. True enough. It's kind of neat, but it's not a particularly good game. It's like most, yeah. A lot of the Virtual Boy stuff is like neat in concept, but just doesn't play well. Is the thing. Imagine the 3D would make it easier for you to figure out what's ahead of you or walls. It's really just not laid out well. I don't know how much the 3D would have helped, just how busy the play area is. I mean, just for a second, imagine if everything in Star Fox was see-through. Like, for some levels that could work, but I mean, look at some of these screenshots. Yeah, it's a little easier to tell what's going on in motion, but a lot of these screenshots are kind of impossible to parse. So yeah. I think they had something here. I think they had a neat concept. I think they tried to do too much with it. I think some emptier areas with more focus on the actual enemies and maneuvering around them would have really benefited it, without going too far into Waterworld territory. I mean, even Nintendo Power says, as you can see, the graphics in this game are composed of wireframe polygons. The programmers have done a great job of suggesting three-dimensional shapes and mass with this format. On the flip side, however, it can make for confusing flying in some situations. Without surface texture, you may sometimes lose sight of where you are, what's in front of you, especially if you're flying very close to an object or wall. What's this music from? This is from Solid Runner. This is the nightclub theme. Like Star Fox, Red Alarm allows you to switch perspectives during the game. You have 4 viewing modes instead of 2. What is the story of this thing anyway? The 21st century is a time of war and strife for the entire planet. As the pilot of the last tech-wing fighter, you must battle the forces of chaos. A doomsday weapon with artificial intelligence or will switch. AIs, man. AI's always got it out for us. Kill them before they kill us. Orders to fly the tech wing in the chaos itself, disable its defenses, destroy it from within. Only it was that easy to get rid of AI. Stage 1, first stage fairly quick and simple. Stage 2, you notice the tunnel seems almost organic. It also twists and turns much more than it did before. You can actually get lost down here. Oh, you can dead end in this. That's not cool, actually. Stage 3 with fish-shaped mechs and seaweed-like growths on the cavern floor. Stage 3 seems like it could be underwater. It's kind of neat. Stage 4, a trail of breadcrumbs might come in handy in the stage. The threat of getting lost or turned around within the maze is very real. A maze. Yeah. Yeah, I think the big problem with Red Alarm is they had a good idea for a game and then just kind of leaned way too hard in the wrong direction with it. But yeah. Another game lost to history. Golf! It's golf. Very red golf. Slot Runner sounds kind of cool. Very, very late. Essaying a cyberpunk JRPG with tons of people behind Baroque on staff. Oh, okay. The box art did make it look like an RPG. Wasn't sure if it was like in the Snatcher vein or something. This is from Vern World. I'm guessing another RPG we didn't get over here. Van Presto joint. Okay. I can't honestly fathom why you would want to play a golf game like this. Like, playing everything in red scale is already going to be hell on your eyes. But I feel like some things... Oh, I feel like some things could suit it better than others. But I mean, golf? You really don't want golf looking like a blasted hellscape, you know? Vernworld is super cool. He plays a private eye investigating murder tied to organized crime, except said organized criminals all use mecha. That is cool. Based on the works of Jules Verne, of course. Remember your first video golf game? Flat tabletop fairways and warped unreadable greens robbed you of both your good shots and your patience? Not really, man. Not really. Those days are lost as a power slice ball, employing an innovative high-speed 3D processor called Polysys. Developers and TZ software transform polygon surfaces, wireframe modeling, graphic patterns into a stunning virtual world of golf. Take a swing on a sloped fairway, shoot from an elevated tee, and putt across the undulating surface of a green. Or is that a red? Ah-ha! 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 That sucks and I hate it. Alrighty then. So be it, golf. Let us descend once more. Does this teeny soft sounds familiar? Because they made Highlight, yep. You know them, you love them. Virtual Boy!
P and Etha present.
Wait, no, we're not doing it. Teeny Soft gave out games and now run a retailer chain. So we have played this before. You get to choose which hole to play? Weird. Okay. Club. Stance. Whack. The art here is cool though. I feel like it loses a lot of the charm of other golf games at the time. Okay, look. I am not putting this in red. It's the final word on this, okay? I do not want to play stuff in red scale. It will hurt my eyes, and I will be unhappy. To say nothing of the people that are going to get pissed off in chat for having to stare at something red. We're not doing it. I feel like there's a whole bunch of things that you can fiddle with here. But I feel like I shouldn't, because I can't even hit the ball straight. Oh, that might not be far enough. That was actually too far, as it turns out. Then the combination of only 4 shades of red with this higher resolution makes Virtual Boy stuff look so strange. It's kind of like, since we're playing it in grayscale, it's kind of like almost like fever dreamy Game Boy, you know? It's like Game Boy from another dimension. For the Japanese staff of the Wizardry franchise, the time talking about the Virtual Boy, it's like you're really in hell. What the fuck? I talked about the hardware and the screen of the Virtual Boy. I'm kind of curious what the actual computing power it had was. I think it's so many more pixels and not manage even a single additional shade. It's kind of weird, isn't it? That may have been the limitations of the display technology. Fucking kidding me. I really wonder if they'll make any coloration changes when the Virtual Boy shows up on Switch Online. I feel like they have to. Like, I feel like they really can't just put it out there as is. Like, they gotta have some consideration for people's eyeballs. What the f- Fucking Christ, man. I really don't like this shot system. Like, I don't know what part of this I'm missing. Like, Driver's supposed to send this thing almost 300 yards. I wasn't even 200. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to hit it in the middle or in the bottom or... That one was 71 yards! What the fuck? Alright, I've had enough of this. This is a really, really unfun golf game. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. And I'm not convinced that it really made the most of the Virtual Boy either. And if it did, you'd only be able to play this like 2 or 3 holes at a time before needing to take breaks, so. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's really important for a golf game to accurately detect when the ball hits the hole. Yes. Yes. And this has... one of its many sins is that it has much worse feedback on that than most golf games. So yeah, not a fan. Would not recommend, chat. When you get access to your Virtual Boy games on the Switch Online, I'd give this one a pass. Maybe just stick to Mario Clash, Mario Tennis, Red Alarm. Ooh. Now we're talking. Brave New Warlord Ocean rolls out an intriguing hybrid of shoot-'em-up action and brain-stretching simulation. In the future, brutal crime syndicates have seized control and divided the world into 50 fiefdoms. Your not-so-easy goal, world domination for your syndicate. To achieve it, you have to arm and direct squads of cyborgs on more than 50 deadly missions. Up to 4 can play this game, which retains all the excitement and challenge of the much-talked-about PC version. To sever and protect, yeah. Before each mission, dip into your cryo chamber, select teams of 1 to 4 cyborgs, then arm them and modify their various body parts. Also spend funds to develop advanced weaponry and body parts. All this is quite costly. It means you have to tax the population under your control. Tax them too much, though, and they rebel. I said world domination was easy. If I remember correctly, we have played this. We have played the Super NES version before. It was fun, but the levels were really hard to navigate. Yeah, you won't be able to see your cyborgs when they go into buildings and duck behind walls. You have to use a scanner at the bottom of your screen. Different colors on the scanner identify civilians, enemy cyborgs, walls, and other objects. Yeah, this one showed a lot of promise, and I love the idea of being able to, like, couch co-op Syndicate. Because, yeah, managing the entire squad yourself, I remember, was pretty tricky when we played through it on PC. But, yeah, it is a neat, if clunky, game. Fully arming and modifying 4 cyborgs can quickly deplete your cash reserves, especially during your low-budget early missions. With more only seasoned syndicalists can definitely control 4 cyborgs at once, so it's often best to go with only 2. Beef up your dynamic duo by giving them extra chest protection, supervision, maybe an extra shotgun or 2. So yeah, neat concept. I'm happy to see this on platforms other than PC, but yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we got, chat. Well, you know what? I suppose we can go ahead and get this one out of the way. Richter actually looks like he's flipping us off at the top there. I think he knows what game he landed in. Yosef burst into my house, sweating with fear. Yosef, what is wrong, my friend? Here, sit down. He stared at me, eyes wide, his trembling mouth working in spasms. Richter, it is Anna and Maria. They're gone. Dracula's taken them. The Lord of the Undead lives again. Amazing you didn't immediately go page back and pretend you're interested in Syndicate again. No, this is good actually, because the most time I could actually spend playing this tonight is 20 minutes. And that would honestly be a stretch. How would you like your steak? Okay, I gotta give Nintendo Power a little credit this month. They've actually got some pretty cute play on words this time. With a flash of lightning, a crack of thunder, Konami's latest Castlevania title finally makes its way to North America as Castlevania Dracula X. This is the first Castlevania to be released in the US since 1991's Super Castlevania 4. It's a testament to the appeal and quality of this game series that fans will be clamoring for yet another installment after 8 years and 6 previous titles. I guess 8 years total. This time around, Simon Belmont's descendant Richter, who must seek out the vampiric head honcho, rescue two fair damsels in distress, and restore peace and prosperity to the Transylvanian countryside. I think page layouts have mostly improved a ton from the last several this issue so far as well. I agree. The page layouts have been pretty solid and readable. Oh, Deep Thought, you haven't seen this one. Aha, well then. Previous Castlevania games have progressed through various side-scrolling stages. Welcome addition to the Unlimited continues the passwords you receive along the way. Another cool feature is the path through some stages, even major enemies you encounter can change depending on what you do or don't do. We got stage 1, the Village Aflame. Fight the Hellhound at the end. Stage 2 is a bridge too far. Fight the bats at the end. Stage 3 is platforming challenges, and then a horseless headless horseman. And then a cave. Onward and upward and so on. Alright. I still wonder why they made this. I guess they weren't allowed to port Rondo to the Super NES, so they took the assets and remixed it into something they thought would be decent. And we're really, really, really wrong about. Yes, this is on the collection on Steam. No, I don't think it was a technical issue. I think it might have been like a rights issue or something. Like maybe the deal for Rondo was that it would be exclusive to TurboGrafx. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Or maybe whatever deal they had for Rondo on the TurboGrafx meant if they did port it to another system, they'd have to like pay them off. I don't know. I'm making shit up here. May I play the first couple levels at one point? Dracula X is kind of insidious. The first couple levels are okay, and then it gets progressively more bullshit, and then the final level just hates you and everything you stand for. It do have them sick beats though. True enough. Hey, no, I have not played the PSP version. I have, to my knowledge, never played PSP anything. Freaking has some cool additions. I would say, I think honestly, like the biggest problem with Rondo, or not Rondo, sorry, the biggest problem with Castlevania X, it has a lot of problems. Like there are a lot of things this game gets wrong. But overall, I would say the biggest problem is just how much of a step backwards it feels from Castlevania 4. Like, you lose the 8-way whip, You lose the kind of like dark horror theming, the more subtle soundtrack, the simple convenience of having sub-weapons on a different button. Like, that was my problem when I got it. The moment I started playing it, I was just like, this is not Super Castlevania 4. Bye. Look at what happened was this was going to be a sequel to Rondo. The Henshin earthquake happened, the devs lost a ton of stuff. Konami needs something out. I see, okay. So this game was a victim of circumstance, then. Well, don't rush your Castlevanias. They really need time to cook. That's a dog, by the way. Wow! Fair Rondo's one of the sickest item crash animations. You don't even get to do the action with pose with the orb. Really tragic. Really tragic, chat. Anyway, I would say if you decide to try this game out of morbid curiosity, do not make any actual honest attempt to beat it. The final level is such an incredible degree of bullshit. Yeah, oh god. Shit. Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Woo! Really glad I didn't overjump that. Same to actual rondos are your top Classicvanias. For you, Super 4 Rondo and Bloodlines kind of show top spot. I did play Rondo for the first time on stream years ago, and it was good. It was very good. Am I explaining why I never went back to the other games I collection if I wanted to beat them in order? Yeah, don't do that. Please, I beg of you, don't do that. Play and enjoy good Castlevanias, just forget the other ones exist. Don't ever try to beat this one. Don't ever try to beat the Game Boy ones. Just don't. Alright. I'd say don't do it. I'm the guy doing all-inclusive Sonic marathons. Belmont's Revenge? Belmont's Revenge. Oh, is that Castlevania 2 on the Game Boy? I literally regret beating that game. I literally regret the time I spent on that game. I will say the first 4 castles are fine. They make for a pretty fun game, and I mean, when you're comparing it to Castlevania Adventure, it's amazing, frankly. Dracula's castle in that game is bullshit, and the final sequence of battles is fucking agony. It is pure, undiluted anti-fun. And I streamed it, so you can see all of this. You can see all of this. You can see my tone change on Game Boy Castlevania 2 in real time. Oh. I found the M crash button. Shit. For me, I hate Adventure. Belmont's Revenge is fun until that difficulty spike. I remember having a good time at 3. 3. What are you talking about? Track your progress and allow us to provide real-time updates on your application. Please create your candidate account now. Your application is not clean to the creator logging account. Button for is broken. I've run into a number of jobs like that. Well, they'll require something on the application that you can't actually enter because they fucked up the entry box for it. Oh, Legends. Isn't Legends on GBC? Wow, there was wall chicken right there. God, man. That's still OG Game Boy? Huh, okay. Fuck off, man. Dude. Can't recall watching him play more than a little 2, maybe some other time. So I played Castlevania 2 on Game Boy a couple times. The first time was the one where I went through and beat it, and then that may have been before we actually got to it in Nintendo Power. Once it started showing up in Nintendo Power, I consented to play through some of the early castles, but I never again made an attempt to beat it. Got less shit from reviewers the time for coming out after Symphony at Night, but not trying to adapt this formula. If I died to that thing there, oh my god. Good old Castlevania bosses with their final revenge attacks. Iga himself fucking hates it for whatever reason on record. I mean, Iga was always very opinionated about the Castlevania games. Sometimes to his detriment in the case of Harmony of Dissonance. Actually, come to think of it, Iga had this thing where, because he didn't do Legends, right? The bad font for your hearts, yeah. Pretty ugly. It looks like placeholder, honestly. Yeah. Iga has this thing where he kind of holds grudges over Castlevanias that he didn't make. Because Harmony of Dissonance on GBA was pretty famously his response to the success of Circle of the Moon. And we all know how that turned out. And it occurs to me that with Legends, he ended up kind of scribbling all over that one story with Lament of Innocence. Because with Legends, Sonya was supposed to be the first Belmont, and then many years later, Iga came along with Lament and was like, nah, it's Leon. Fuck that lady. He gets weird about controlling lore, yeah. So... I think right around here is where the game starts showing its true colors. Proceeding to log in because I submitted something before. I don't think you saved your cover letter. Was the job not getting properly? Don't worry, the vast majority of employers don't actually read cover letters. Supposedly. Shame too, I think Sonya is a generally kind of cool pro tag. I think more female pro tag than Castlevania should have been. Yeah, certainly. Thanks, man. I can't be mad at this game for that. It's a pretty common Castlevania trope. Lords of Shadows is another retcon clusterfuck. Lords of Shadows is its own thing. I wouldn't really consider Lords of Shadows like proper Castlevania games. I don't think they really fit into the discussion. Oh, that's right. You drop like a rock in this. Alright, I think that's enough of that. Better for us to stop before I start getting really pissed at this. Because nobody wants that. Alright, so we did it. We survived Castlevania Dracula X, and hopefully we'll never have to play it ever again. The last hour and a half driving around Las Vegas and the crew forgot what time it even was. Nice. Thanks for taking a look. Yeah, it's just, the biggest problem is that it follows Castlevania 4. Castlevania 4 is arguably the best of the classic Castlevanias, and this isn't. And the further you get into this game, the more apparent that becomes. Especially if you try to finish it. Lords of Shadows is part of that Western reboots of Japanese series era. It seemed like they're on the better end of them, at least. I know the first Lords of Shadow was pretty well received. The PSP side game and the sequel, I don't think were particularly. Own them, I do intend on giving them a fair shot someday. Yeah, I mean, again, the first one, people seem to like the first one, so it's God of War by way of Castlevania, so kind of hard to go wrong there. Oh my lord. What a terrible way. What a terrible, terrible way to do that. I should definitely close requests down in light of this. Alright, chat. So, when we come back on Saturday, we have Batman's Crotch and Epic Center news to look forward to. So, lucky us, I guess. Did I actually go through? Yes. And we went... Wow, that's kind of perfect. We went through the entire exactly 2-hour soundtrack that I had for tonight. So that's perfect. Oh, should they talk about America Online? That's nostalgic. Yeah. Did you know AOL still has a desktop client? I did, actually. All right, chat. Well, obviously, we need to end here. We're out of music, and we made it to the Epic Center, so I dare not cram anything else into this particular night. So, tomorrow night is the September Community Night. We're going to be playing Sage Expo games. So if you're a big fan of like super indie projects and fan games and stuff, you'll definitely want to be here tomorrow night. On Saturday, we'll be right back here. And you can kind of get a sense already. This Epic News touches on a lot of different titles. So the feistier among you may be able to worm some more playtime out of some Japan only and future games here. Sunday is nothing. I don't stream on Sunday, and then Kingsfield is back on Monday, and hopefully we'll finish it next week. I think we should be able to, despite not really having a very good sense of where I am in the game at this point. They tried playing us off and we outlasted the music. Doesn't happen often, but tonight we did good. It means we did over 2 hours of chatting tonight. And less than an hour of gameplay. That's power hours, baby. That's how we do around here. So, anyway, let's go find somebody to raid. If I can find some non-Silk Songers tonight. Nope. I'm just gonna have to let y'all go again. Oops, all Silk Song. So yeah, anyway, gang, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thanks for joining me for the start of September 1995. Definitely not the most notable issue we've ever been through, but hey, just clears the deck for more stuff faster. So yeah, womp womp. Yeah, thanks again for coming out. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow night for the September Community Night. But until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.